Dreamers by Yuyi Morales. I dreamed of you, and then you appeared. Together we became amour, love, amour. Resplendent life, you and I. Do you see who she dreamed of? Her child. One day, we bundled gifts in our backpack and crossed a bridge outstretched like the universe. They're leaving their country, Mexico. They're coming to the United States. Adios. And when we made it to the other side, thirsty and awe, wow. So all these buildings with lights, unable to go back, we became immigrants. Can you take notice of the butterflies and think about why she might have included them in her illustrations? Butterflies migrate, right? Migrants, you and I. The sky and the land welcomed us in words unlike those of our ancestors. Difficult to come to a new country and not speak the language. One of the obstacles immigrants face. There were so many things we didn't know, unable to understand, and afraid to speak. We made lots of mistakes. Let's take a minute to really look closely at her beautiful illustrations. Did you see the mistake that was made? She thought it was a place to bathe her child. You and I became caminantes. Thousands and thousands of steps we took around this land until one day we found, I'm thinking about, what did they find? A place we had never seen before. Suspicious, improbable. It was Ms.Kaplan's favorite place, the library. This is what changed her life. I love again how she included a butterfly, monarch. Unbelievable, surprising. Unimaginable. Take a close look at her illustrations, right? Books can take you to places that are just unimaginable. Where we didn't need to speak, we only needed to trust, and we did. Books became our language, books became our home, books became our lives. We learned to read, and that's what changed her life. She also became an author. To speak, to write, and to make our voices heard. Through stories, we could send very important messages, so our voices are heard. Someday we will become something we haven't even yet imagined. But right now, you're all very young. You can't even imagine what you might become, just like Yuyi. We are stories. We are two languages. We are resilience. We are hope. We are dreamers, soñadores of the world. We are love, amor, love. So the story is based on the author's life. I'll read you a little bit about her story. All of us have stories. Each of them is different. This story began in 1994 when I crossed a bridge with my 2-month-old son, Kelly, from Mexico to El Paso, Texas. And though I did not know it at the time, to a new life in a strange and unfamiliar place, the United States of America. Once here, I was surprised by the quietness of the streets, the houses neatly lined up along the roads, and later by the cold winds of San Francisco Bay in the summer. I had come so that my son could meet his great-grandfather Ernie, who was very ill and not expected to live much longer. I wanted to return to Mexico soon afterwards, but I was shocked to learn that because of the United States immigration rules and my new status as a permanent resident, I was now expected to remain in the United States. It's a good thing monarch butterflies don't have to remain because it's way too cold in the United States for them. They have to fly back to Mexico. I had become an immigrant, but could I possibly call this new place my home? Like most immigrants, I missed things that felt familiar: my family, the food, my friends, my job as a swimming coach, and my ability to communicate, to understand and be understood. In this new place where I did not speak the language, it's as if no one seemed to notice that I existed, as if my words and actions didn't count. In those first days, I constantly wondered if I would ever find a place where I felt valued. Then one day, Kelly's grandmother brought us to a building that would change our lives forever. We discovered the public library, and it was spectacular. I had never been in a place where you could just take books from the shelves without asking, without being scolded for taking them. And there were picture books, something I had not encountered before. And I could not believe how beautiful and sturdy they were. And then, when I opened them, I was amazed at the power of their illustrations. Even though I could understand very few of the words, I realized that I could understand the story through those images, a realization that would come to inspire me later on. I began bringing Kelly there almost every day. And although at first it was difficult for a little baby to stay longer than a few minutes, eventually we were able to spend entire afternoons looking at picture books, often only leaving when we were told the library was closing. We were at home. And I'm hoping that books will become home to you this summer, even if you can't go into the library building. There are so many free resources for you so that you could also just imagine. It's limitless, and go places where books could take you. I wish you the most beautiful, fun summer.